Absolutely. Let's track the global stories. And of course, the top story this hour is, of course, the kind of move which has come in from US President Donald Trump, which has suspended slew of tariffs on both Canada and Mexico, agreeing to a 30-day pause in return for border concessions. Both Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and even Mexican President has said that they had agreed to bolster border enforcement efforts in response to Trump's demand to crack down on immigration and even the drug smuggling. That would pause 25% tariffs due to this take effect on Tuesday for 30 days. However, no such negotiations have emerged for China, at least for now, which faces across the board tariffs of 10%. A White House spokesperson has in fact said that Trump would not be speaking with Chinese President Xi Jinping until later in the week. On the flip side, Trump warned he might increase tariffs on Beijing further. China has called fentanyl America's problem and said it would challenge the tariffs at the World Trade Organization and take other countermeasures, but also left the door open for talks.
Well, absolutely. And speaking of talks, then there's a lot that is happening on the Federal Reserve front, shifting focus to the Federal Reserve and commentary then coming out where officials are now arguing that policy uncertainty over the outlook for prices calls for slower interest rate cuts than otherwise. So in terms of commentary coming in, you do have Boston Fed President Susan Collins, who said that the broad-based tariffs announced will impact pricing action, in fact, in the US, not just for final goods, but select intermediate goods as well. In fact, she added that little modern experience on how mega tariffs impact the economy makes it hard for the Fed to know exactly how big or long-lasting the effects are going to be, noting that it is also possible that the central bank could even shrug off a one-time increase in inflation tied to the tariffs. Meanwhile, you do have commentary coming in from other officials as well, because there's Chicago Fed President Austin Goolsbee, who said that very lack of clarity requires a go-slower approach on interest rate cuts. In fact, he did not repeat his recent mantra voiced as recently as last week that rates will need to come down a fair bit over the next year given progress on bringing down inflation and the goal of keeping the economy then at full employment. In terms of other commentary coming in, there's Atlanta Fed President Raphael Bostic, who's warned that his business contacts were planning to pass through any rising costs from the tariffs. Additionally, he also said that one has to wait it out and see how the tariffs then play out.